I am here to be the voice of reason of the people, or at least to say the most down-to-earth thing possible without sounding narcissistic or sensationalist. If you are a movie lover just like me, you probably watched a lot of news regarding movies flopping in the box office and directors having a literal baby rant over how bad it did. And I don't blame them. You worked really hard on this product and it failed, making your reputation less reliable for future producers. But these directors keep forgetting that movies, despite being a form of media and entertainment, whether they like it or not, are also a business. And with every business, there's a seller and a customer. If customers don't want to buy your product, you can't blame the customers for not being interested in it. Like, if I wanted to sell oranges and they end up rotting at the end of the month because nobody wanted to buy them, I can't start screaming that you're all idiots who don't appreciate the value of vitamin C. I mean, I can, but who's going to take me seriously? And this is the mentality that a lot of directors need to change immediately. Let's leave aside politics and social views for a moment. I'm talking from a purely business perspective. I'll state the most recent example of the movie Wish. I'll be honest with you, I haven't watched it and I'm not planning to. Not because of ideologies or anything like that, but because I'm just not interested in Disney movies at all. Last one I watched was the Aladdin remake and, believe it or not, I actually enjoyed it. Yeah, sue me. But either way, the movie flopped horribly and there's been a tremendous amount of backlash on social media from enjoyers who are clearly not a PR team with bot accounts, constantly belittling everyone who didn't watch it and labeling them as right-wingers. Estimated PR team member, I'm not a right-winger, I'm just not interested in watching this movie and period. Why do I have to be gaslighted into watching it just because the studio wants to make a profit? Like, remember those times when you went to the cinema and there were trailers of other movies before the actual movie started and you went, I think I actually want to see this other movie in the future. Well, that's called marketing, and if you're interested in the plot presented to you, then you are that movie's audience. By the time you watch this video, you need to know that there's going to be a movie called Napoleon that's going to be released pretty soon, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not that interested. Don't get me wrong, I actually love Ridley Scott's work, but I'm more interested in the movie Maestro with Bradley Cooper, but that is just my preference. And yes, I said that on purpose. My preference. It's very likely that none of you even knew this movie was going to be released, and that's fine, but I'm not Disney's audience, and I won't watch something if I'm not interested. It's like if someone started insulting you because you don't want to play cricket for the first time in your life. I suppose it would be fun, but I'm simply not interested. Why would I want to watch a movie that simply doesn't seem interesting to me? Why do I automatically become a right-winger for not being invested? And also, PR team, I know you're talking about America's right-wing movement and stuff, but I'm Latino. I'm not interested in watching it either. It's probably a good movie, I don't know, I just don't care. And the same goes for other failures like the Marvels, which I'm going to be honest with you, it's not as bad as a lot of people claim. It's still a mess, but it's definitely more enjoyable than the first Captain Marvel movie, even with all the cringe dialogues and scenes. And the movie flopped because of the terrible marketing, terrible precedents with Brie Larson, superhero fatigue, and constant disappointments of previous Marvel projects. And you know what? That's business. It can either be a good or a bad business, and in this case, it was a very bad business. But this hasn't stopped the director from speaking out and blaming everyone else but the entire team for the failure of this movie. It was the audience's fault. Apparently, it's okay nowadays to say that if you don't watch a movie, you are a
insert generic social derogatory term that attempts against the freedom of minorities.
And what's even funnier is that people are not even complaining about this behavior anymore. A while ago, it was a constant cringe battle between lovers and haters of certain franchises. Now, it has become a war of bots. I can even imagine the PR team literally setting up bots defending and attacking a product just to create social media clout, and the people who actually are down to earth are just minding their own business. And the really smart ones do not even have Twitter or TikTok at this point. Hey, I never said I was smart. But now, it's not even infuriating anymore. It's just annoying. And I know I'm not the only one. The drama has become so repetitive that it no longer feels like a genuine voice for the right causes, but the tantrum from a whiny little baby. At this point, you are just sitting on a chair, tired, waiting for the baby to just shut up. But the baby keeps on screaming and screaming until you watch another movie you never wanted to watch. And if that wasn't enough, it's not even the marketing team's fault at this point. I can see how they learned from the mistake of Charlie's Angels fiasco and to never insult the hand that feeds you.
Because I've been asked to go see movies starring men my entire life. And I don't know why men don't return the fucking favor.
But if people don't want to consume your product, here's an interesting idea. Make a better one. Oh my god, who would have thought? A while ago, I said that I grew up with 4 comic books: X-Men, Spider-Man, Batman, and Spawn. If there's a movie or a TV show related to any of them, of course I'm going to be interested in watching it. But if I see an announcement for Skippy McDippy in McDippyland versus the anti-McDippies, I won't give 2 flying turds about it. And I don't care if you say, you just hate it because he's a pansexual African American. Nah mate, I just don't care about Skippy McDippy's shit. I want to see Bruce Wayne or Al Simmons because I know them and I care about their stories. But this seems to be a case for all social media recently, where instead of doing damage control over the situation and general discomfort, both from producers and the audience, rather than taking accountability for this mess, they blame the people for it. I mean, if you decide to release a Croatian documentary of a goat eating grass in the Himalayas for 3 hours, I don't care if the director is demisexual from Turkish descent. I just don't care about the product. How is it that hard to understand? And it gives me hope to see that people simply stopped caring and just stopped engaging at this point, focusing instead on minding their own businesses and touching some grass. To all of them, congratulations, you are more human than the majority of people out there. But what do you think? What are your thoughts regarding this topic? Have I missed something? Let me know in the comments because I am sure I missed a lot of other factors and I would love to read you as well. This has been Whino and thank you for watching.